Namaste everyone, Captain Vijay here. On behalf of Maritime Universe, will be speaking to Saleha Shaikh. She is the founder and head of MUI, which is the Maritime Union of India Women's Wing. This live was planned yesterday, but due to technical reasons, it was not conducted. I'll be doing this live today on behalf of Maritime Universe. We'll be speaking to her, we'll be asking about her and what's her plans about MUI Women's Wing, which is I believe newly formed. We all know about MUI, and people who are not a member of MUI, please do take the membership. I'm a member since 2008. Let me get my guest on board, and Captain Ravi, if you're here, please join in. And we'll be talking to a women personality. She's not a seafarer, she's seafarer's wife. So I would request everyone to maintain the decorum and dignity of the life. Thank you so much. Let me get her on board. Hello, Saleha, how are you? Can you hear me? Okay, guys, she is coming on live for the first time, so there might be some technical difficulties. Please bear with us. Okay, we will not be taking any request for. Okay, let me get her back. Let me open my WhatsApp as a backup. Yes, basically, this is about the Maritime Union of India Women's Wing. We all know that seafarers, when they're on board and their families stay here and they have to handle so many responsibilities by themselves, it's too much taxing on them. So this women's wing is formed for one of those reasons. They have lots of workshops conducted. I'm very excited. Even I was not aware of that, being a MUI member. Let me see if she's here. Saleha, if I have sent you a request from your own page or MUI page, whichever you want, you can join in. Yeah, I think she's with our page. Hello, Saleha. Can you hear me?
Hello, Captain. Can you see me?
Yeah. आपको can you hear me? Good evening, all. Good evening, friends. Seems network issue on her side or my side. I'm not sure, but I think it's on her side. Let's wait. Let's keep some patience, and it's an interesting conversation that we will have. Yes, everyone. I'm Captain Vijay. This hosting I'm doing on behalf of Maritime Universe. Hello, Saleha. Can you hear me? हाँ जी. Can you hear me, Saleha? Okay. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Let me see. Let me chat with her. Algeria. Nice place. Okay, I've sent her a message. Hello, Saleha.
Hello, good day, Captain. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
I can see you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank God for that. All right.
So finally, we have a good network, and I'm sure we can have a very lovely conversation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for
So,
inviting.
okay. Thank you so much for coming on behalf of Maritime Universe. I'm Captain Vijay. Me and Captain Ravi, we normally do hosting for him. We have been doing it for quite some time, and I believe yesterday some technical issues couldn't do. So I joined in, and it was my privilege to speak to you. And also, it's related to women seafarers and many topics pertaining to women seafarers. And me and Captain Ravi were it's very close to our heart, this topic. So I'm sure we will learn a lot more about you and especially this women's wing. So the first question is, we would like to know more about you. So we know that you are a founder and head of Women's Wing, but we would like to know more about you. Who is Saleha Sheikh?
Okay. So I have, with regards to the connection to the mastery, my first connections started with a master. I've been married to him for the past 26 years now, and it has been a long journey. So I kept seeing him come and go, and the kind of life that I lived as a seafarer's wife. There's so much to learn, there's so much to learn, and there's so much that you experience that over time I realized that, we need a community for seafarers families, that there was a strong, need for some kind of a community support system. And that's my connection. I then, visualized a community, a kind of support group wherein families get all kind of support, and we are able to be there for each other. We understand each other, most importantly, because as seafarers families, our lives are very different. We it's very different from normal people's families, and so that was basically the. And this was around more than 10 years back that I had this, and eventually it got fulfilled thanks to the Maritime Union of India. So I'm also a mother of 3 children. My eldest is 18, and my 5 years old. So I'm
Okay. So how did you approach MUI and when you presented this idea? So how, when you started this, you had this concept and then till it was actually formed. So how much time did it take?
So initially, I really thought of how we could go about it, because I used to hear that there are, certain seafarers groups who meet up occasionally, and it was more of a family get together that they used to have. But there was nothing like on a community level or like a mass level. So I thought how I could go about it. And like if I approach my husband's company, then it would be limited only to that particular company. So I kept
Correct.
thinking how. And then, because my husband was a member of the Maritime Union of India, and we used to, I was aware of the benefits that the union gives, So I actually thought that the union was the right place to go to, because they would have a larger, database of seafarers and a larger reach among seafarers. So eventually I approached the Maritime Union of, and that time, the general secretary was Mr. Shamshad Khan, and I mentioned about my plan, my whole idea. Yeah, it sounds very interesting, and we would look into it. And he said, okay, we are very busy right now, but we will think about it and get back to you. So this was around 10, 11 years back. Then later I did not hear from them, you know, and time, and then I just thinking, what can I do? So I again approached the Maritime Union of India. At the time, Mr. Thakur had just taken over, you know, and he was very receptive to the idea. He was very open. In fact, said that yes, start a women's wing, which would look into, you know, not only the welfare of seafarers' families, but also women seafarers, because that's a growing number as of now. And that's how it all started. There was no looking back.
That's nice. Nice to hear that. Finally, it was badly needed, and now we all know that the numbers of women seafarers is increasing. It's on the rise, and we are very happy because, to be honest, I am a member of MUI, but I have sailed on so many ships, and I see that many, even today, the juniors are even not a member of MUI till date.
That's true.
In spite of all the awareness and everything that we have been spreading, but still they are not a member. And I encourage them to take membership because of the benefits MUI provides, and they're not aware of. When I tell them the benefits, and then they want to join. So similarly, I am not sure many women seafarers are also part of this MUI as well. So can you just, if you can just share in brief the programs that you have? I just checked from the net. You have a lot of programs such as Women Welfare, Swastha Parivar, Sukhi Parivar. So maybe if just short, you can discuss about the programs that you have under Women's Wing. So I will be just speaking about just Women's Wing. And maybe some other day we can cover, but this is just about Women's Wing.
Okay. So at the Women's Wing, we conduct, workshops and seminars from time to time. It can, within 4 to 5 months, we have these. And earlier, we were holding them in Mumbai in different places because of the physicality of it. So there would be, like when you talk about health awareness, so we had a health awareness camp on cancer. Then we had talks on emotional intelligence. Then we also work on personal development. So, you know, our subjects range from personal development to welfare to health, depending on what we feel is a necessity. Then from time to time, we have competition for wherein, families as well as women and seafarers part, and essay competition, singing competition, poetry writing. We've had some amazing competitions, and the kind of entries we get, I mean, from the youngest, like 3-year-olds to adults, it's just interesting because this is a platform where seafarers families also get to show their talent, you know. And the kind of essays and the kind of poems we get, they are just spellbounding. I mean, amazing, the kind of creativity we have. And this gives them a platform to bring out that. So these are some of the programs. Then we also had a program on entrepreneurship, basically women empowerment. So right now we have that. It's about how we try and give a platform to the women entrepreneurs from amongst our community. Like we know that there are not just the wives, but even seafarers. There are so many of them who, whilst they are sailing, they're also having some kind of a business running on the side, which they or their wives or are involved in, you know. So the idea was to give a little more exposure to these, setups, and also encourage us to actually collaborate with each other, see how we can help our community. So this is again in the pipeline right now. We are getting out to direct MUI Women's Wing Entrepreneur. It's called. We're right now. The pandemic, it has been because of whatever XYZ reasons. Other than that, we had a recipe contest, and not a contest as such, but people sent their recipes, which they worked on throughout the pandemics, and we released the book basically. So that's.
Wow. That's nice to hear. Nice to hear. See, there's one program which is medical reimbursement and convalescent homes. Those are common. Okay,
Yeah,
those are common to even the MUI members. But we'll talk about the dignity at sea.
yeah,
Like many of the women seafarers, they go on board as a
yeah.
cadet or as a third officer, and even in senior ranks, they are still facing resistance from the stereotype, the male counterparts. So, but they are not open. They don't have anyone to talk to. At most, they can talk to their friends and family. So, this dignity at sea, I believe it's for counseling for depression and loneliness. You can shed any light on this?
Yes. So what happens is many a time, like you mentioned, women seafarers are probably the only one lady amongst the entire crew, and sometimes they're not able to really communicate so well. Sometimes they're facing some kind of issues, and the whole idea was for them was to have some kind of a system wherein they can share their issues, they can discuss what they're going through. Many a times they face depression or some kind of abuse or something. It could be verbal, it could be sarcasm, it could be any kind of physical abuse or anything. So this channel wherein they can complain, or they can talk, or they can just connect with the women and discuss their problems. So it's amazing, because the number of messages we get, the number of conversations we have, and it really we feel proud that we're able to be there for them at a very dark stage, because they don't while they're at sea, they're in the middle of the sea, and they have nobody to discuss certain issues with, because many a time some of them face these issues, but if they discuss any of their problems at home, it or issues at home, or they're kind of told, "Okay, you have got into this career." So sometimes those are things that they cannot share at home, and that's where we step in and take charge.
I see, I see. Captain Ravi, he was my host, was supposed to be yesterday. I
Good evening,
requested him
Saleha.
if he's free, join in for a few minutes.
Good evening, Captain Chaudhary. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? I'm so sorry. I was supposed to be, and then it's not very clear. I was slightly busy with personal issues.
Excellent.
So right now I have a few minutes, and it's wonderful, wonderful meeting you. And I was just listening to your chat. It's so nice to see, someone doing so much for the maritime, especially the women seafarers. Capt.Vijay and I, we feel very strongly for this community. So anyway, you continue. Sorry to barge in.
So I'll just read from the website that they have a helpline number wherein any female seafarer can call that number, and it's a counseling for depression, loneliness, and confidential medical advice will be sought through the above helpline for everyone. Also, there is something called as Voice of Women, wherein if you're depressed, lonely, and you want someone to talk to, so you have a number as well. So can you just share a little bit more about this Voice for Women?
Okay, so this Voice of Women is basically a helpline for seafarers. We generally get phone calls when husband is at sea, stuck, or he was supposed to sign off and was not able to come back in time. So there are lots of different issues that come up with families of seafarers, and this is the helpline that addresses that. And when we started this helpline, it was not really known, but with time, more awareness, it's been really it has been keeping us very busy. And so during the pandemic, because of the kind of problems that families faced, like somebody's having some kind of issue, some patient with COVID, or it like to relate an incident where one of wives, she was expecting, and she needed this place, which was another city, and husband was at sea. She was stuck home with her 2-year-old son, and she was about to deliver like a month's time. And because of the lockdown, she was unable to get, and was be connected with UI and with also with the company. We managed to get her to her hometown. So the help basically deal with all these kind of problems wherein, many a times seafarers families don't know who to go to when they're facing any kind of an issue. So they reach out to us. And not just the helpline, but we have very work of WhatsApp groups, pan India. We have WhatsApp group with various, it's zonal wise, and we have to take forward any kind of case that comes to have, like, if we Delhi who's facing a problem, we connect them to admin, and we've been able to really help our members, not just on phone calls but also physically and in reality.
Okay. So that's nice to know. So considering the examples, it's always good to have someone to talk to. And through this helpline and the WhatsApp group that you mentioned, I just want to know, do you have, like you are the head and founder, do you have somebody else, a team of female working together?
Yes,
Pan
we have
India?
a core team which is 4 members, including me, and there are some really amazing people. I'll just there's Lata Khatri, Captain Harish, I know him, and there's one Mrs. Ilham Modi Bharmal, and there's Mrs. Pauru Chishti Ukaji. So all are wives basically. And besides the core team, we also have our zonal admin. There are quite a few, so I can't name them all, but
That's nice to know. And being a seafarer's wife, you would be the right person to understand the problems and the issues the families face when the husband is out at sea.
yeah.
Now, there's something called as Swastha Parivar, Sukhi Parivar. So, in that, you have the healthcare schemes wherein the spouse and children are provided with health checks and health awareness campaigns are made for mental as well as physical health being sports and fitness. So, anything about those?
So we've been having since the pandemic. Earlier we used to have get-togethers and meet and greets in the certain parts of Mumbai. Thanks to the pandemic, we went virtual, and that way we really could reach out to more members. The pandemic forced us all to go virtual, so it was a boon because that way we could reach out to more of our members. And we held a few workshops which were related to, like we had interactive sessions online wherein they could share their problems. And we also would invite a speaker and choose a subject generally, and then the speaker speaks, and then we have question and answer sessions. So that way, these are the kind of online programs we have.
Okay. Captain Ravi, anything you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, right time for me to just a couple of questions because I couldn't even hear her properly. I can hear you, but she's coming broken. Maybe it's something wrong with my net. Anyway, so my question is basically, are you, Miss Saleha, are you also kind of in any way connected with the authorities like DG Shipping and Ministry of Shipping in case something serious is reported to you by a woman seafarer? We are entirely talking about the women, okay, right now,
Women,
because
yeah.
our cause is basically that.
Yes.
So yeah, okay.
Yeah. If required, I can immediately connect to the DG. Yes, we have a special cell also, which meets from time to time. If there is any kind of a problem that is related to women seafarers, confidential matters, then there are a couple of us from different organizations, being one of them, wherein these kind of matters are discussed.
Okay, and do you also have any, suggestions or, some kind of, points which people suggest to you, the girls, the mariners, they suggest to you, and do you have some way of, putting it across to the DG Shipping and making sure they are implemented? Like I'll give you, small little examples, it's like, most of the companies, the girls, wherever they are working, it doesn't matter which company. So I was listening to one of the girls, interviewed by one of the masters the other day, and same thing it happened with me when I was interviewing another second engineer, Nayari Nan, who's also written a book. I don't know if you know her or not. And So, it's although they talk about it in a very, a lighter mood and in a funny way, but it's a very serious thing. Things like, people, the seniors suggesting them, do not wash your clothes, especially your undergarments, in the daylight hours, because there are other people who are watching it. What kind of sick, mentality is that? And same was with another girl cadet who's right now down for exams, for second mate's exam. Her seniors told her, when you come for the chief mate, when you come for a watch at 4 o'clock in the morning, you put your clothes in the laundry. When you go back at around 6, when before people wake up, you take them out. These kind of things, this may hurt, although they are talking it in a very normal and casual way, but this is something, at sick mentality.
Yes.
This probably, maybe I have seen it during my childhood. I'm talking about India of 70s and 80s. That time these things were normal. Oh my God, the female undergarments are, out there in public, but not this world. I mean,
Yes.
where are we going to? Are we regressing backwards?
It's very,
So these kind of issues, how would you handle, in your own way? I mean, I know there's no kind of quick fix to these kind of questions or issues.
so, you know what? There are many such things that come up. We have to handle it by talking with the seafarers, because most important is that the seafarer self has to be willing to face everybody, and unless until a matter escalates to a point where she's at fault, or where she's put to be made at fault, there's no need to go to the authorities. So what can be sorted through dialogue or through discussion, we try to work out like that. And then if things really escalate, wherein sometimes you get complaints wherein a master or of a chief engineer or a seafarer is really making life miserable, that's when we really take things up. So that's how generally we work. And like I said, work in WS, Captain Radhika, and she's a wonderful person, very understanding, very mature. She's a brilliant mentor to these girls. So what happens is, many a times things get sorted at ground level itself. It just takes a little guidance on the point of this. So maybe she's a little shaken. The whole senior ones,
Yeah, your network.
they're,
Can't hear you, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Can hear you, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like as if you're sitting in a hall or something. It's there's a.
yes, suddenly even I.
Let me just remove my
Did you
Bluetooth.
change something? Did you change something?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. My last question before I. Again, one of the girls, if the DJ shipping or whoever, the companies, they have decided they are going to take the women, the girl children, on board or at various ranks, why don't they have certain, very sensitive issues in their manuals? Like, the same girl was saying, she had issue disposing of her, the sanitary napkins. Now, this is something she said it happened. It's not, if you inform these seniors, you tell the captain, captain, where do I throw it? Do I, put it in the bin in the medical locker, medicine locker, or I can't chuck it into the sea. I can't put it into the, the bowl, toilet bowl. And she said, if I have reported once, it should be attended in some way or the other. She had the same problem every time she had the issues. So, and I'm sure she had these issues because there was no guideline issued by the company. And she would say that every time the captain or the chief mate on every ship will give some kind of a stupid excuse. हाँ देखेंगे कल देख लेना वो कर लेना, we'll see, throw it there, don't throw it like this, keep it in a bag, we'll land it ashore. Why cannot DG kind of come out with some kind of guidelines which is issued to all the companies? Okay, now there are women on board, you have to have these certain things which are women specific.
Yeah, very rightly pointed. And this was one of the matters that has been taken up. And if you're aware of the policy guidelines, that this was about a year and a half back.
Okay.
So in the policy guidelines, there is some as well. So I don't know why it has not been implemented. I'm sure most companies follow that. There could be probably certain companies or certain ships that are not following it properly. But other than that, a general suggestion that we also give, because it's not just seafarers, but many a times families also being on board, So
Right.
the simple solution is like we did discuss this matter, and we thought that biomedical waste is anyways, we have access to that kind of waste on board.
Right.
And
Right.
napkins can also go into biomedical waste. That's so much of an issue.
Absolutely. Right. Right. It's been wonderful talking to you. I wish I had some more time. I have many things to do, and thank you so much for raising this issue. And you are doing a wonderful job. There are not many people who are looking after the issues of women around, and more power to women. Thank you, Captain Vijay. Always together. Goodbye. Good night. Bye.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you, Captain Ravi. Thank you for joining in and
Thank
asking
you.
very genuine and important questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Bye-bye. So, yeah, he asks very important questions pertaining to those few interviews which happened few days back. So, just about coming back to Women's Wing. So, what are your plans for your next 4 or 6 months?
We had a lot of programs planned, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we had to keep them on hold because the scenario was not such, to take those kind of initiatives forward. But we're hoping that we are able to do this, fulfill whatever we intended to do. And hopefully soon you will be seeing some more initiatives coming forward here. Right now,
Okay.
Because of the pandemic and a lot of families going through issues, even some of our core team members also, they something or the other keeps coming up. So that has been keeping us a little occupied.
I see. And words for the female seafarers to take up MUI membership and register for the Women's Wing. There's a registration form available. So, any advice? And I mean, see, unless it's made compulsory, people don't do it. That's how we Indians are. And few companies, they want, before you join, they will ask you if you have a valid MUI membership. Some companies, they don't. So it's shocking that people are still not yet member. So I always encourage whoever I meet, but I believe the company should make it compulsory for every officer and engineer to have a MUI membership, valid MUI membership, and it is not expensive. So any advice for the female seafarers to register for the Women's Wing?
Yeah. So my advice would not be for women seafarers, but seafarers at large. Let's be more inclusive, because this is a general tendency that we see, that some seafarers I know some are not aware of it, but those who are aware and who have not taken, they need to know that the union has an immense standing, in the maritime industry. And what happens is, many a time when there is some kind of a problem, like ship is held up, or if an officer or a crew member is held up somewhere, and when we try to help them, we come to know that a member, that crew or that the crew person or the officer is not a member of MUI. That's where so we are not able to do our best only because we're a member. And that's why we always encourage seafarers to take membership, because at the end of the day, this is like not just for you, it's not about medical benefits or other benefits, it's about having somebody to stand up for you when you are caught up or you fall into trouble. So that is something that most people don't foresee it, and they think, why should we pay like membership fees here? But sad, really, it's a very normal amount. The membership is a very nominal amount, and the number of seafarers that fall into trouble year after year and are that they missed on our legal help or legal assistance because they were not our members. So that is a sad scenario. Also, what happens now today with the in place, we also it's a dual purpose. When a member becomes a member, even his family is supported on many levels. So this is the kind of community support that you're getting. If there is any kind of a problem, anything, we are there. That's why it's extremely important. And women seafarers, I tend to interact with them on a personal level. Most I reach out to personally if they have any issues, any kind of problems. So that way, there is not an issue. And most women, we have most of them as members. I would really encourage all women seafarers to take up membership of the union.
Yeah, they should. And in fact, every seafarer should take up this membership of MUI. And I believe it should be made compulsory by all the companies to do that. I will just read some of the benefits by MUI, which is obviously applicable to the women seafarers as well. We have this the journal Oceanite, which I just received a few days back, and support by MUI and assistance in all ports. Then suspension of certificate insurance is there. Then cancellation of certificate, the certificate replacement, legal assistance, like you mentioned. MUI will provide legal assistance in India, outside India. There is a limit over here. The amount is mentioned in the website. But again, if he is not a member, then it becomes difficult for MUI to provide support. And other than that, the medical insurance, which is not medical insurance, the medical claim. So many seafarers I know, they have claimed after for the child as well as the wife's delivery and all, and they have got good compensation. And the beautiful convalescent homes that we have all over India. I always visit once or twice every vacation. I have visited many places in India. So I do visit them regularly, and it is not expensive, and the houses are beautiful, especially the one in Mussoorie. It's one of my favorites. So, and it is not, it is very cheap compared to the other 5-star. And you go there, we have a caretaker there. He will treat you as you're a seafarer coming to the place. He will take care of you, and it feels nice, to go there with your family. So I would encourage everyone to take membership. It is not expensive membership, and please keep your membership valid. If it is expired, renew it on time-to-time basis, and it is all online. There was a time when it was offline, but now it is all online. So I encourage everyone, women seafarers, male seafarers, take up membership right now or maybe in few days. Ensure your membership is valid and enjoy all the benefits of the MUI. And so you mentioned any webinars and workshops you have plans online, so we'll wait for that. And how are you going to increase your reach towards the seafarers? Because most of the seafarers are now active on Instagram, following many mariners. So I would say Instagram and Facebook, we have to spread reach to all the existing seafarers to encourage participation in the MUI program.
Thank you. That's a very valid suggestion. And I would also like to point out that we are a presence on Instagram as well as Facebook. So the seafarers can ask the women seafarers. Most of them are already aware of it. But seafarers mostly they can ask their families to join our groups on WhatsApp as well as Facebook and Instagram. That way, part of and they're constantly connected to us, and they can reach out to us anytime through any of the social media or through our helpline.
Yes, the ID is MUI_WW. That's the Instagram ID, and the website is maritimeunionofindia.com. So I request, it's not a request, you would say take an order from a captain that take the membership of MUI. I have used it, I've been a member, and it's very beneficial to take the membership. And like you mentioned, join the WhatsApp group for all the seafarers. What happens is, on my personal experience that I've seen, not every seafarer has a seafaring background. Many of them come from a non-seafaring background where the parents are not literate enough. So if the seafarer gets stuck somewhere, parents will not even know whom to call. If that is the time, if you're a MUI member and you have given your MUI credentials at home, the membership card is there, the details are there. Somebody, a mom, dad, brother, sister can call up MUI and then they will take it further. So this is very important. I hope people understand the importance of being a MUI member. So nothing from my side. It was lovely, lovely talking to you. And I wish you all the best for your plans, for your future growth for this MUI Women's Wing. And more power to, as Captain Ravi said. Anything else you would like to add? I'll be saving this live on the IGTV and also on the YouTube. Anything else you would like to add before we call it off?
It was a pleasure interacting with you and to be able to talk about MUI Women's Wing like my baby, And it's always a pleasure to talk about it, and the growing number of women seafarers. We really are happy and proud of. Just to let you know that 2 years down the line, we were really worried because companies weren't hiring women seafarers, but things have changed slowly with all the efforts. I mean, it's the entire maritime industry for that, and now the numbers are increasing, and we are really happy to see the companies hiring them. It's not just we have a lot of girls who are very interested in joining the merchant navy, but after doing the courses, when some companies don't hire them, that was quite a problem. And we, as a union, we were facing a lot of complaints like these. So things have, and really to see the way women empowerment, a very strong agenda today. Thank you for bringing this up. Thank you for this platform to Maritime Universe, and more power to the likes of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all the viewers for keeping this conversation active. Many questions are pertaining to women seafarers, and this hasn't come yet. The basic ones, the normal ones that we normally get for the job ones. So I don't think there are any worthy questions. But yes, we had blessings from many countries. And Crochet says, wonderful conversation. Yes, it was a wonderful conversation. So thank you so much. And hopefully we will catch up some other day on some different topics. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jai Hind to everybody.
Jai Hind. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll end this live. Okay, friends. So that was Saleha, the founder and head of Women's Wing, MUI. And once again, I would like to mention the importance of taking MUI membership. I have this. This is the magazine, the Oceanite I was talking about. It's Mirror, the Oceanite. It's a free journal. It's available through MUI, and lots of benefits. My friends have taken the benefits of the medical claim for your wife, for your children, and the convalescent homes, which I personally have used many, and my friends have also used. And it's not that when the seafarer is on board and the wife cannot avail the benefits, she can still avail the benefits. And many other benefits of being a MUI member. So definitely, it is worth the premium that you pay per year. So with that, I would like to end this live, and thank you so much. And as I requested in the beginning, to keep the live comments healthy, and I see the comments were very good. So thank you so much. See you next time. Thank you.